Today we'll be creating a 3D printable S hook. You can see that it's rounded on the top but flat on the bottom, so we can print this on the print bed. The first thing that we're going to do is start a new part. We're going to go up to the top left-hand corner and start a sketch. Click on the top plane. We're going to right-click and view this normal to sketch plane, so we can see this in 2D. Then we're going to create 4 circles. Uh, right here. Another circle concentric with the first. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom right here. The second one's going to be concentric with the third. Then we're going to apply some constraints. We're going to use the tangent up here in the top middle. And we're going to constrain the outside circle with the inside circle right here. And we're going to do the same thing with the inside circle to the, well, it was outside, but now it's inside right here. Then the pipe that we're going to use on our S hook is going to be 3/4 of an inch. So we'll make the inner diameter of these, our S hook, 1 inch to make it easy. We'll do 1 inch right there. And then we don't want to sit here and dimension everything twice, so why don't we constrain it instead? So we'll go up to our equal sign here, and we'll just make the inside circle equal to that on both of them. And we might as well do that with the outside circle as well, because, why not? Now we're going to dimension the outside circle, or, whoa, looks like our inside circle became our outside circle right there. So let's fix that. And all I did is pull one circle onto the outside. We're going to dimension, and I'm going to use the dimension feature right here, but most of the time I just press D in order to complete that. You can kind of see that my when I press D, my mouse goes from a cursor to a cross like that. The outside diameter that we're going to need is 1.25 inches. And that's to essentially make 1/8 of an inch of material on this side and 1/8 of an inch of material on this side. So everything's similar. And that's about what I use for thickness on most 3D prints. Next, we're going to want to make the straight part of the S hook. So let's create 3 lines coming off the circles. And the first line will be connected to the outside circle right here, and the third will be connected to that one. And we're going to want to do the same thing for the bottom circles. Kind of trying to frame out our S right here. And we're going to want all these to be perpendicular with each other. And that'll kind of round out the thickness of this as well. So that'll be perpendicular to that. That'll be perpendicular to that. Same thing here. Make this perpendicular as well. So now you can see it kind of sized up down to 1/8 of an inch, right? So if we dimension that, uh, almost 1/8 of an inch. We'll fix that in a second. Let's go back with our tangent constraint, and we're going to make this line tangent to the circle, and this line tangent to that circle. So it smoothly comes off the S right here. And we're going to do the same thing for the bottom as well. So tangent to the inside. And then we want this to come off the circle at a 45-degree angle whenever it hits that on the circle. So let's go back to our dimension. Oh, sorry. We're going to have to dimension this off of something, right? So let's create a construction line. And you can make a construction line by using this feature right here. You click on the line and then construction. And we're going to have a line come off that point right there. We want to make sure this is constrained horizontally, right? And you can see that by the horizontal line that comes up next to my cursor right there. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom right here too. So line, construction, and we want to make sure that's vertical. And then just press escape to get out of that. Now we're going to dimension from that line and then to this line. And let's make that 45 degrees. And then we're going to do the same thing on the top right here. Oh, it looks like it already made it to 45 degrees for us. Okay, so this line, let's not make it 0.77. Let's do 0.5 instead. 0.77 seems a little too big. So 0.5. And then it looks like everything here is not constrained yet, but let's make this coincident with the origin and see if that doesn't fix that. Yeah, that looks like everything went from blue to black, so that means it's all constrained, except for these lines, of course. Then we could always add a dimension to it, right, if we really wanted to, and that'll constrain it. So, okay, let's press the check mark on our sketch. And that we're gonna have to do a lot of clicking to extrude this, so why don't we go back to the sketch, actually. And let's trim up a bunch of these lines that we don't really need. So let's go to the trim feature right here, and let's create an S with our, by getting rid of some of these lines for the circle. I'm going to kind of stay away from the center right here until we get a picture of our S. So let's do these two lines right here, the line in here, and then get rid of this one and this one. And that looks like our S right there. It looks like it's still constrained as well, so that's good. Press the check mark. We're going to extrude this. Instead of an inch, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch. Press OK. And then we're going to add our fillets to the top. And that's going to be 1/16 of an inch right there. And that'll be our S hook. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. If you like the video, please give me a like. Thank you.